a first gen Audi TT. So come along with us as we...
You gotta be kidding me!
What a better day to review a
convertible!
Today, with the gracious support of Porsche of St. Paul, we bring to you the 2019 Audi TT.
Roadster!
What do you say we go, give it a spin, give some feeling characteristics, and see how this matches up against the other entry-level sports cars like a Mazda Miata and maybe a Porsche Cayman.
Maybe. It's right in there.
Awkward high five. Make sure you click like, comment, subscribe. Come along with us. You know what's nice about an Audi TT?
What?
It has all-wheel drive.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
It's nice in northern Minnesota for sure.
Because you can drive it all year round.
Here's what you got with the packaging. It's not that confusing, but it's a little convoluted. You could buy a GTI
okay,
and get pretty much the same thing.
Yes, yeah, the GTI is the same thing except in a hatchback.
You got the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine.
Yep.
220 horsepower.
Yep.
Easily tunable.
Very easily tunable. If you wanted to spend $700 and make this car right here almost 300 horsepower, you could do that.
We did do that with a lot of success on your GTI.
Yep.
And
it's a super fun car once you do that.
It is, and I would like to see how it handled all-wheel drive.
I think all-wheel drive would have been better.
It would. What do you think about the convertible? We both own coupes.
We did. We both owned the first gen coupe, and it was an amazing car. I loved it. It was my first sports car. I like the convertible. It feels like nice and tight in here, but not in a way that is bad.
And it's quiet.
Yes, I haven't even noticed that it's a convertible other than looking at it outside.
My one downfall with the DSG transmission is that even in sport dynamic mode, I think I said that correctly.
I hope you did.
Which is the most aggressive, sportiest option for the transmission.
Yep.
It still shifts by itself.
Yes. That is the downfall of all the DSG cars, except the brand new Golf R finally got away from that.
This will hang in the mid-rev range.
Yep.
But once you get to the 6500, it's going to shift by itself.
Yeah. Yep, it will. It's right around there. There's a red line. And so putting it in manual mode doesn't really feel as satisfying, and I remember that about my GTI.
I think the cabin is welcoming.
I like it. It's super simple.
I like the stitching on the seats.
Yeah.
You don't have infotainment center.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it takes a second to get used to. Everything is in your display.
Is it?
Yep. It works out okay. You got these little, mouse-looking thing that changes things.
Different things in there.
It would take a little bit of getting used to, but it's okay. I'm trying to base my decision upon, like, the Miatas that we've driven.
I like this car so far. I like that it feels like an up-class GTI with all-wheel drive.
I think that's the play.
Yep.
I think if you're looking at something better than a GTI, but still kind of that same realm, this is
great. Yeah. Other than, here's the biggest downfall of this car. Automatic only.
I agree. I missed the third pedal.
Yep. These cars with their lower horsepower are just a hoot in a manual, and the DSG is an amazing transmission. It's amazing, but there's something about driving with 3 pedals. Does it have the power to put you back in your seat?
Had it not been introduced to a whole bunch of much higher horsepower vehicles, I would say that this has a good amount of power. It's fun. It pushes you back in your seat a little bit.
I think it still has a good amount of power and is fun. It's just, once you've driven something with a lot of power, you miss it.
Let's trade seats and see if you would take this over a GTI or a Miata.
Okay. It's still quick.
It is quick. It is a very fun.
You can use all the power on the street, is what you're trying to find.
Yes, like, you know how we say, like, the Chevy Aveo, you can use 9/10 or 10/10 of the power all the time?
Yep.
This is kind of like that. You can have a lot of fun with it all the time.
I've already gotten back in my GTI habits from back in the day to where I'm downshifting every time I come up to a stop sign and whatnot, but it feels like a GTI mixed with like my Cayman.
That's a very good comparison because it is a little bit in a league of its own.
Yeah, it's an interesting car because it's got all the capability of a true sports car, but then it's got the DNA of a GTI underneath.
And it does have the looks of something exotic.
Yeah.
What do you think about the steering feel and the suspension setup?
It feels better than the GTI that I remember and slightly worse than a Cayman. Again, why I'm saying this car is a mix between a GTI and a Cayman. Because it's still good in every way.
I think it's super fun to drive. I think the cabin on the inside is comfortable. It's a place I wouldn't mind spending some time. To be honest with you, not having an infotainment center where every other car has one,
It's weird, but
it's
cool.
weird. It's cool. It would take a little bit of getting used to.
I will also say this. This does 0 to 60 in 7.6 seconds because it's the Roadster. And I think I did faster than that in my Cayman from 2007. So it's not the fastest car, but it's fun.
One good thing about that, though, is you're not going to get in a lot of trouble.
That is true.
And it sounds good for a 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
It sounds okay.
Yeah, it does. And it's still playful. That's the biggest thing. You're not losing the playfulness of the car. You're just losing the overall go-to-jail speed type stuff.
And I think in comparison to a GTI, having the all-wheel drive, as you know, since we both own Gen 1s, and I can only imagine that the Gen 3 setup is even better, it would go through any amount of snow that you threw at it.
Yeah, this car overall feels amazing. And I love it so far. It's kind of giving me like this, I feel like a kid again because it's my first sports car again, but mixed with the niceties of the GTI.
It is really an affordable sports car.
Yeah.
An affordable, fun sports car.
It's a hoot. And it's no slouch, but it's not super speed either. Like, I never feel like I'm gonna do anything that's gonna cause me lifelong problems.
It's really just like a good balance of power, speed, and fun.
Yeah. Now, do you think we should give him a backseat test?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Because this is the Roadster, you do not get rear seats. In the coupe, you get
a leather bench for your
with
stuff.
seatbelts.
With seatbelts. What do you say we give them our final thoughts on this? Because I have a lot of final thoughts that I have just come up with.
Okay, let's do it. Well, you may think this is the intro as Chris is walking into frame just like he always does, and I am standing right here, just like the beginning. But no, this is actually the outro.
I like to come from the abyss. It's where I belong.
So, what are your final thoughts?
The 2019 Gen 3 Audi TT.
It's a fun car.
It's a fun car. It's not blow your socks off fast. Still have the socks on.
Okay.
It's responsive. It's fun. It's playful. It's all-wheel drive. If I'm comparing it to its like true competitors and what's underneath in the running gear, I'll take it over a GTI.
Yep, I'll take it over a GTI as well.
I'm also going to take it over a Miata.
Okay.
I'm not going to take it over a Cayman.
Yeah, a Cayman, I don't know. After driving this car, I don't think it actually is a direct competitor at all.
I like the quilted stitching in the seats.
I did too. I thought the interior was a tier up from anything else that we have mentioned today, other than like a Cayman, but...
I like the styling of this a lot. I think it's nice. Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3. I like all the stylings of the TT.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm going to say my final thought is, If you're looking for an entry-level sports car to have a lot of fun that's all-wheel drive,
That won't get you in trouble.
this is probably it.
Yeah, it is. It's the perfect balance for your first sports car. That's really what it is. It's the perfect balance for your first sports car. So if you like it, make sure you go on Porsche St. Paul's website in our description and buy it.
And while you think about buying it, we'll hit you with an awkward high five. Make sure you guys click like
Comment.
and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.